there she is ahead at your 1 o'clock. That's where they landed the helicopter in Jurassic Park.
Wow, this is awesome, I have to say it.
Now, because this is all privately owned, there's no way to see any of it except by helicopter. This is literally the Robinsons' backyard we're flying through. As we get to the flat spot on top of the hill, you may notice a bunch of dead trees sticking out of the forest here. This is hurricane damage left over from Hurricane 𝗛𝗎𝗄. 𝗛𝗎𝗄 came ashore here September 11th of 1992. It was the most devastating hurricane to ever make landfall in Hawaii. And it was a direct impact right here on Kauai. So more than a quarter century later, we're still seeing remnants of that devastation in the form of skeletal trees on much of the high grounds around the island. Incidentally, that was also the day Jurassic Park wrapped up filming here on Kauai. They had a few scenes left to shoot, but the island did not look the same after 𝗛𝗎𝗄. So the last few scenes moved over to Oahu. But if you think back to the movie, there was a hurricane threatening the fictitious island. There was a scene where waves were crashing ashore on a rocky jetty. That was actual storm surge from 𝗛𝗎𝗄 over in the harbor where your cruise ship's parked. Steven Spielberg was out there, he had his little handheld camcorder, and he got that one last scene in, then he hunkered down to ride out the storm. So that was officially the wrap shot here on Kauai. We'll be over Robinson Land for about another 10 miles or so. The original descendant of the family to come to Kauai was a Scottish woman by the name of Eliza Sinclair. She lived most of her life in New Zealand, and she sailed here back in 1863. A year later, she made the first land purchase for the family. She bought the island of 𝗛𝗎𝗄. That's the one we could see a little bit of earlier. We may get a better view of it as we get farther west. It's known as the Forbidden Island. You're not allowed to set foot on 𝗛𝗎𝗄 unless you were born there or invited by the Robinsons. That was a stipulation of the land deal when Eliza bought it, but it never be developed or made public. We can see 𝗛𝗎𝗄 again out to our 10 o'clock. She bought it from King Kauai V for $10,000 in gold, which in today's money is only $150,000. Not bad for your own private island. You can't even get a house here for that much. She got 45,000 acres over there. Coming up on a little canyon here, this is 𝗪𝗪𝗃𝗍𝗪 Canyon. It is owned by the Robinsons, and they got it for even cheaper than 𝗛𝗎𝗄. The entire canyon was gifted into the family as a wedding present over 100 years ago. You're probably starting to notice a bit of a change in the landscape and the terrain, even the climate. We have 7 climate zones on this one tiny island, so you will see some dramatic differences. We left on the east side, and the east and north sides are typically the rainy sides. That's why they're so green and lush and gorgeous. South side around Poipu is the sunniest side on average, and we're heading out now to the southwest where it's quite arid and desert-like, a lot like the southwest of the continental U.S.
Gonna put put the world away for a minute, pretend I don't live in it. Sunshine gonna wash my blues away.
We only get 6 to 10 inches of rain per year on this side of the island, which is pretty neat because the center of the island is one of the rainiest places on Earth, getting more than 450 inches per year. Huge difference for a few miles away.
Wishing I was deep in the water somewhere, got the blue sky breeze and it don't seem fair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise.
Yeah, we're just leaving Robinson Land now and crossing into state land. What you're looking at ahead of you is known as the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. Welcome to the Waimea Canyon. Now, if you look out at the canyon walls, you'll see horizontal striations in them. What you're seeing are individual layers of lava, separate eruptions of Mount 𝗹𝗶𝗳𝗏. That's how the island was formed, beginning a little over 5 million years ago. This is the oldest of the major Hawaiian islands, so it's had the most time for erosion to sculpt it, and this canyon's a great example of that. The Waimea River cut through the canyon, and as it did, it exposed all the layers of lava to the air. Well, lava comes from the center of the earth, so it's very rich with iron. When that iron comes into contact with our humid, salty island air, it's going to oxidize or rust. That's where all this red dirt comes from, just a bunch of rust. So when you get over to Hilo, look at the lava rock there. It's actually very dark black. It's even shiny. If you look closely at it, it has jewel tones in it. That's new lava. This is very old lava. This is what the Big Island will look like in a few million years. We're right about the deepest part of the canyon here. It's a half-mile deep and 10 miles long north to south. We're cruising northbound up the riverbed. Got another waterfall hiding up this way for you. Our waterfall is starting to peek into view ahead on the right side of the canyon. That's 𝗹𝗶𝗳𝗏 Falls. 𝗹𝗶𝗳𝗏 stands 800 feet tall, a little bit more than double the height of Jurassic Falls. And this one you can hike to. The canyon trail starts at the north rim ahead of us, takes you down to the top of the waterfall. So we'll probably see some tiny little hikers standing on the red dirt cliff just past the falls as we get closer. Looks like we got a couple folks up there. Teeny tiny, kind of look like ants from here. Kind of gives you some perspective on how big that waterfall is. The only road access into the canyon runs along the west rim off to our right side. We're going to hang a left turn here, go to the east. There's no way to get where we're going by roads.